Hello everyone, it's Mrs. Johnson, and I wanted to go through hand washing, and it's especially important right now because of this coronavirus going around. We're going to talk about when you should wash your hands, why you should wash your hands, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So, hand washing is our topic today. Why should we wash our hands? And there's two main reasons is to stop germs, especially this coronavirus germ that's going around. We want to stop this and do all that we can to stop it. One of those ways is washing our hands, and the next one is just to stay healthy. So we should be washing our hands like this all year round, but right now, especially with these crazy germs going around, this is how we should be washing our hands. So when should we wash our hands? I'm going to tell you some times at home when you should wash your hands. Obviously, if you are going to a store or going to pick up food from somewhere, or you have to go pick up medicine from a pharmacy, you should always wash your hands or sanitize them before you get back in the car or when you get back home before you eat, etc. So this is at home. When should we wash our hands? First, we should always wash our hands after going to the bathroom. This is the same as at school, as anywhere. You should always wash your hands after going to the bathroom. Next, we should wash our hands before, during, and after making food. So before I pull anything out that I'm going to make for dinner, I'm going to wash my hands. Between steps, if I'm handling veggies and then meat, I'm going to wash my hands. And then after I finish making it all, I'm just going to wash my hands. Keep them nice and clean. Keep those germs away. Next, we should always wash our hands before we eat our food. We should wash our hands before and after we help someone who's sick at home. So if you have a sibling or a parent that's sick and you're helping take them food, you're helping take temperatures, etc., we should always wash our hands before we do that and after so we don't get them sick and we don't get sick from them. Okay, we should always wash our hands after we blow our nose, after we cough, or after we sneeze. These are always times, you guys know at school we practice this constantly with hand sanitizer, washing our hands. If we hear someone cough, sneeze, go to blow their nose, you should always hand sanitize or wash your hands afterwards. Okay, this one is appropriate for anyone who has any pets at home. So after you touch your pet or after you mess with their food, you give them a treat, you put them on their leash, take them outside, bring them back in. You should always wash your hands between all of those interactions. Okay, lastly, you should probably always wash your hands after you touch any garbage. Even if you're just throwing something away in the trash can, you should wash your hands. If you're taking garbage outside, you should wash your hands. All right, we're going to watch the steps for washing your hands. This is a video I made. I'm going to press play and make it big screen. Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Johnson. I'm going to show you guys how to wash your hands. So we went over when you would wash your hands. So I'm going to show you how you wash your hands. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some soap. You're going to need a sink, obviously, with our water. And then you'll need a towel. I'm going to use a cloth towel that I can just wash later, or you could use paper towels to dry your hands. So the first thing I like to do is I like to use warm water. So I'm going to turn on my warm water here. And you're going to wet your hands first thing. You're going to twist them around. Make sure you get them wet on the inside and on the tops of your hands. Okay? Then I'm going to get 1 pump of soap. Okay? I'm going to turn my water off while I scrub my hands, not to waste water. So I've got my soap. I'm going to rub my hands together. You see how my fingers interlock? I'm going to interlock them and scrub between all my fingers. Now I'm going to flip one hand on top of the other and scrub in between those fingers. And on the top of that hand, you can see all my bubbles. I'm going to switch hands and put the other hand on top and scrub those as well. Okay, as you can kind of see, this part of my hand doesn't have a lot of soap, so I'm going to run my hand around my thumb, do it on both hands. Okay, now I'm going to take both of my hands and interlock them and kind of scrub this way. This just makes sure that the tops of your fingers and your fingertips get it good. You're going to massage the inside of each hand. Okay, and one last step I like to do is I just like to go right around where my wrist is and scrub it with that soap really good. Okay, now since my hands are all soapy and sudsy, I don't want to touch the faucet, so I use my elbow, turn my water back on. And I'm going to rinse, and as I rinse, I'm going to lather my hands, kind of similar to how I did it in the beginning. Okay, make sure I get all those bubbles off. Okay, shut off my sink. I like to wring my hands out a little bit just so that they're not soaking wet when I go to dry them. I'm going to use my towel. Make sure that I have all of my hands dried. I like to put one hand under the towel, one on top, and then kind of rub them together. Use the other hand to get the other one dry. And then I'm going to hang this back up so I can use it again. So go ahead and practice that hand washing. Remember, go back and look to remember when you should wash those hands. Thanks, guys. All right, thank you guys for joining me. I will link this Google slide presentation, so if you wanted to go back through and look at when we wash our hands and you want to rewatch this at any time, you're more than welcome to. Thanks, guys.